A long time ago, in a village bound by rivers called Umuoge village, there lived a princess called Ifoma. She was a gorgeous lady. Her eyes were like gold and her lips plum red. When she walked past, the people of Umuoge turned to stare and wet their lips. Her beauty was captivating. She was the apple of her father's eye, the joy of her mother's heart, and the hope of the entire kingdom. Unlike her other sisters, she was beautiful but did not want to get married. Princess Ifoma's beauty was talked about in her village and neighboring villages. When people want to describe how beautiful a woman is, she is used as a standard. She did not care about marriage, and this bothered her parents. She did not keep friends except her childhood friend, Ada, which she visited. She did not let Ada see her in order to keep her secret hidden from everyone. Anytime Ada wanted to visit her, she would give an excuse or choose to visit her instead. She does not let the maidens clean her room. She would wake up early before the cock crows to clean her room, do her personal care, and get ready for the day. Despite her best efforts to conceal her secret, the shame and embarrassment weighed heavily upon her delicate shoulders. One day, the king and the cabinet decided it was time for Princess Ifoma to choose a suitor. All her other sisters have been married to princes of respectable kingdoms. Princess Ifoma was summoned, and while the meeting was held, she sat quietly listening to all they said. They deliberated on getting Prince Ugo from Umueze village. The people of Umueze were known to be great warriors with massive wealth. "He will be a good husband to you," one of the chiefs said. Her father, the king, asked her for her opinion. Still, Princess Ifoma was not interested, so she nodded her head in agreement. The next day, Princess Ifoma woke up early as usual and got ready for the day. She went to her balcony where she could see when Prince Ugo and his chiefs would come into the palace. She planned to pour a pot of red oil on him. Soon, Prince Ugo and his chiefs arrived, and they were beaming with smiles. Just before they could go into the palace, Princess Ifoma poured a pot of red oil on them and chased them with a cutlass. Prince Ugo and his cabinet of chiefs ran for their dear lives. When King Eze and his royal chiefs heard what Princess Ifoma had done, they went to pay a cordial visit, hoping to still save the intending marriage between Prince Ugo and Princess Ifoma. But Prince Ugo was furious. He did not want to have anything to do with Princess Ifoma anymore. With all due respect, King Eze, Princess Ifoma might be beautiful, but her character is terrible, Prince Ugo said with anger. King Eze and his cabinet went back to Umuoge village, embarrassed at what Princess Ifoma had done. As soon as they arrived, the king and the chiefs summoned Princess Ifoma. She remained quiet and feigned remorse. She knelt, pleading with her father and the chiefs that she would not do it again. "Father, forgive me," she pleaded. "My elders, have mercy on your daughter." She was the apple of her father's eyes. King Eze had a soft spot for his daughter, so he pardoned her. One of the chiefs said, "We forgive you and we have another proposal." They told her of the invitation from Prince Uchi. Princess Ifoma once again kept quiet as they deliberated on the marriage between the two villages and the harmony it would bring. They spent the remaining weeks preparing Ifoma to meet Prince Uchi. He was from a notable family, and word spread that he was fussy and had rejected the other princesses for marriage. While the maidens sent oils and perfumes to the princess, she ensured she did not use any of the beauty oils. She went about her daily duties and activities, even though she was advised to stay indoors so her skin would not get tanned from the sun. Princess Ifeoma defied all others and went out. She stayed longer outdoors, hoping to be rejected by Prince Uche. She did not care if her skin got tanned from the sun. The following month, Prince Uche and his elders arrived at Umuoge. Princess Ifeoma was sure she would be rejected, but to her surprise, as soon as Uche set his eyes on Ifeoma, his eyes lit up. It was as if he had seen the goddess of beauty. His mouth was set apart. He was taken by surprise as he stared shamelessly at Princess Ifeoma. He walked towards her. "The heavens be praised," he said in admiration. Prince Uche went ahead to tell the chiefs and the king that he had accepted Princess Ifeoma. Princess Ifeoma heard all the things about Uche and they were not pleasant. She was not willing to let him come close. She knew that if he knew about her secrets, he would not accept her. He would ridicule her and her entire kingdom. So she had to act fast. The next day, Prince Uche asked Ifeoma to walk with him. As they walked, he reached out to hold Ifeoma's hand. Ifeoma pushed him to the floor and warned him never to stay or come close to her. "Stay away from me," she said. Prince Uche was furious and went to tell the king how Princess Ifeoma insulted him. He left the palace angrily and never returned. Months passed and more suitors sought Princess Ifeoma's hand in marriage, but Ifeoma refused. She shouted at them to leave. Noble men and princesses came for her hand in marriage, but she chased them all away. They kept on trooping in and out of the palace, but she refused them all. Some she chased with cutlass, while for others, she would pour water on them to discourage them and other suitors who thought of coming to the palace to ask for her hand in marriage. Meanwhile, in Amapu village, there was a prince called Cheta. He was a kind and noble prince. He was loved by his people because of his kindness and leadership. His reign was peaceful and brought progress to the entire village. One day, news of Princess Ifeoma reached Amapu village. Prince Cheta laughed at the stories his best friend Ozo told him about Ifeoma chasing her suitors away. It captured his attention and he was determined to meet her. Ozo warned him, "My prince, there are other princesses you could get close to. Why her?" Prince Cheta could not place it, but he found Ifeoma's tricks about her suitors to be funny. Perhaps they were not her friends first, or maybe they were rude to her, he replied to his friend Ozo. "She has a terrible character. She will not make a good wife," Ozo told him. But Prince Cheta did not mind. He just wanted to be friends with her and get to know her. It was time for the annual dance festival of the neighboring villages. This time, the Amapu kingdom hosted the festival. The eldest prince would choose a bride from the royal families participating in the dance. Umuoge village was invited as usual as they had a single daughter, Princess Ifeoma. Prince Cheta, a notable prince from the Amapu kingdom, had heard of King Eze's daughter. Prince Cheta was every maiden's dream, but he would only choose a bride who understood and loved him for who he was. Prince Cheta was after the character and the heart of his bride. He believed beauty was personal. News spread about how he would be picking a bride from one of the royal families. Princess Noye and Princess Chika had their eyes on him. Other princesses of the royal families adorned themselves with beauty oils and baths to be flawless before Prince Cheta. The princesses practiced day and night for the maiden dance, while other princesses adored themselves with beauty oils to win Prince Cheta's heart. Princess Ifeoma went about her daily activities. She tried to talk her parents out of it, but they refused, insisting she must go for the maiden dance. Prince Cheta was eager for the dance festival to begin. He looked forward to meeting Princess Ifeoma. Weeks passed and the day arrived. When Prince Cheta saw Princess Ifeoma, just like the others, he was captivated by her beauty. He introduced himself and there was a spark between them. Unlike the things said about her, she was kind, homely and resilient. Aside from her outer beauty, which captivated people, she was fun to be around with. This made him more drawn to her. She understood his expressions. Cheta's kindness and good heart brought down the walls Ifeoma had built over the years. They became good friends. They started to meet under the Odara tree beside the palace. Their friendship blossomed. One day, as they sat under the Odara tree, Prince Cheta thought it was the best time to tell Princess Ifeoma of the feelings he had developed for her. My Ifeoma. Ifeomamu, I like you. I would like to choose you to be my bride if you will accept, he said. Princess Ifeoma got angry and stood up. She looked at him intensely. Is this your plan all along? Did you come close to me because of this? Not at all, Ifeoma. I wanted to be friends with you, but you have won my heart, Prince Cheta told her. Ifeoma walked away angrily, leaving Prince Cheta under the Odara tree. The next day, Prince Cheta went to the Odara tree to wait for Princess Ifeoma, but she never showed up. For 3 days, Prince Cheta waited under the Odara tree, but she never showed up. Princess Noye saw Prince Cheta walking back into the palace and approached him. She engaged him in a conversation and gave him the clothes she made for him. While they spoke, Princess Ifeoma looked through her window and sighted them. She saw how Princess Noye was giggling and Cheta. They were laughing heartily. She became so jealous that her heart started pounding fast. She placed her hand on her chest. It dawned on her that she had fallen for Prince Cheta. He was different and she feared she might not get connected to another man this way. The day of the dance festival was fast approaching. Princess Ifeoma went to see Prince Cheta. I have thought of your proposal and I have accepted, but on one condition. Prince Cheta was so happy that he smiled and asked her to name whatever she wanted. We would not live together. I can come and visit you, but you cannot come and visit me. She shivered and her lips trembled as she prayed silently that Cheta loved her enough to agree to her demands. But Prince Cheta refused, as he wondered what kind of marriage that would be and how he would raise his children. Ifeoma, you can tell me anything. What are you so scared of? I am here for you and together we can resolve it, he told her, reassuring her of his love for her. But Ifeoma kept quiet. Prince Cheta tried to make her speak, but she insisted on having her marriage like that. Princess Cheta abruptly refused. After a while of deliberation, Ifeoma went back to her room. She burst out in tears as she knew there was no way she would ever get married or have children. The day for the traditional dance festival came and the dance began. Different princesses of different kingdoms danced with the sway of their hips and the cheering of the crowd. Each kingdom cheered its princess on. When it was time for Princess Ifeoma to dance, she remembered her plan to dance in a terrible way in order for her not to win the maiden dance. The whole crowd was quiet. Everyone was mesmerized by her beauty and dance steps. Ifeoma began to dance as she heard the beats of the drum. She danced so beautifully. She gained favor before the people of Amapu. As she danced to the rhythm, her gaze fell on Prince Cheta. A smile escaped from the corner of his lips as he watched her dance. How sonorous! She danced even more, and the drummer increased the beats of the drum. Princess Ifeoma forgot she was not to dance beautifully, so she would not be chosen. But she got lost in Prince Cheta's eyes. Just as the drum beats became slower, almost to a halt, Prince Cheta lifted his right hand and pointed at Princess Ifeoma. He gave her the title of the royal maiden. He had chosen her to be his bride. Princess Ifeoma's heart was beating fast. She did not want her secret to be out in the open. How can she manage this title and her love for Cheta? Can she trust him with the secret she had kept for years? She thought deeply, but at that moment, all she knew was happiness and that she was in love with a good man, Prince Cheta. Later that night, she thanked Prince Cheta for honoring her with the title, but her condition still stands. He refused and told her to think about it. He told her he would be waiting under the Odara tree in 2 days to get her response. 2 days later, Prince Cheta went to the Odara tree but did not see Princess Ifeoma. He decided to go to the market square where Princess Ifeoma usually takes a walk, but he did not see her. She was to get married to Prince Cheta in 2 days. Everyone was excited except Ifeoma. Prince Cheta decided to go to her chambers and requested to see her. He asked her to go on a walk with him. As they took a walk together, she told Prince Cheta that she would not marry him, except they do not stay in the same house. Princess Ifeoma told Prince Cheta that she would marry him, but they could not stay in the same house. The palace is big enough. I cannot spend a night in your room. I would like to have a different house, but we can't be married. Prince Cheta still refused and was not about it. Princess Ifeoma decided to tell Prince Cheta that they would have to stay in different rooms and she wanted the room with the most windows. What kind of marriage would that be? Prince Cheta asked. That is the only way I can marry you, she replied with a sad tone. He replied that he would think about it. They both went to his palace and Ifeoma was given a room to return the following day to her private chambers as it was already night and dark. But the following day, a strange sickness struck the whole village and everyone was told to stay indoors in order to avoid getting infected. Princess Ifeoma was with Prince Cheta when the news spread. She could no longer go back to her own chambers. That night, she decided she would not sleep to avoid her secret from leaking out. She was already regretting agreeing to come to the main palace where Prince Cheta was. She wished she had insisted on going back to her chambers. For how many days would she have to stay in the palace before the epidemic was over? What if she was exposed? She was afraid of sleeping, so she took some cocoa to stay awake. Day broke, but Princess Ifeoma was still in her room. Prince Cheta decided to check on her, but as he got closer, he was greeted by the stench in her room. He knocked several times, but no one answered. He walked into her room to confirm she was in good health. He called out her name. He noticed her bed was soiled when he patted her to wake up. Princess Ifoma opened her eyes and shame could be seen in her eyes. She was shocked that she had slept so deeply and was so tired. Princess Ifoma was a bedwetter. But what Prince Cheta did next shocked her. He got her new clothes from the drawer and opened her windows for air. Quickly change. You need to have a warm shower, Princess Cheta said. She looked at Cheta in confusion. She was too stunned to speak for fear of saying the wrong things. He excused her so she could bathe and dress up. As she dressed up, she thought to herself, no prince would want to marry a bedwetter. He must have been too ashamed for me, she said to herself. She got ready and went to Prince Cheta. Please, keep my secret. I do not want to be mocked. With tears in her eyes, she pleaded with Cheta. But Cheta hugged her and told her to stop crying. This went on for weeks, as long as the epidemic lasted in the village. Prince Cheta ordered bricklayers to make more windows in her room. He ensured it was well ventilated. He got her beauty oils to cleanse herself and bathed in them. She looked more beautiful as the weeks passed. One day in Amapu village, news spread that the epidemic was over. The whole village rejoiced at the victory. Princess Ifoma was happy she finally got to step outside and see the sun. Just as she stepped out, the villagers kept looking at her and murmuring. Some were giggling. Ifoma looked around. This could only mean one thing. Prince Cheta had leaked her secret to the village, and Ifoma's eyes suddenly became filled with tears. She was so scared and her lips trembled. She began to shiver. She was afraid of being exposed and humiliated. And so, what? Is it my fault? I bedwet at night? Go on. Keep on laughing. Princess Ifoma began to shout, crying loudly, knowing fully well that they were talking about her and laughing at her. Prince Cheta, who was nearby, tried running towards her to stop her from spilling her secret, but before he could finish, she had leaked out her secret herself. Why did you say that? He rushed to her and asked her. You told the whole village my secret, and now they are laughing at me, she told Prince Cheta, but Prince Cheta assured her he never did that. The villagers were only staring due to how beautiful Princess Ifoma became over the period the epidemic lasted, due to the oils and beauty baths she had during the epidemic. She looked more beautiful. Princess Ifoma felt sad that she had been the one to leak her secrets to the villagers. He assured her that all was well. The people felt empathy towards Ifoma. Prince Cheta was supportive and always encouraged her at night to wake up to use the toilet. This helped Ifoma become better. Prince Cheta and Princess Ifoma got married and lived happily. This story teaches us about the love of God and good friendships. Psalm 86 verse 15 says, But you, Lord, are a compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness. God in his unconditional love is merciful and gracious towards us. Princess Cheta loved Princess Ifoma completely and wholeheartedly, unconditionally, just like how the love of God is. God loves us completely, irrespective of where we fall short. What did you learn from the story? If you enjoyed the story, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your loved ones. Till we meet again. Bye.